Hello guys! Yesterday I intentionally did not mention the birthday of the dying dictator, a man who shouldn't have been born at all, because during his miserable life he managed to commit too many war crimes. But I feel the need to speak about his birthday today only because the Ukrainian armed forces have developed a really good way to congratulate Kremlin Goblin with his another year on the way to hell. And it seems like fires and explosions mark this day really well, especially in Crimea, because as I record this video, fires in Feodosia continue, and I think that the Kerch bridge is definitely the next target. And you know why? Because Crimea is very precious, and again, I cannot say to the heart of Putin because he doesn't have one, so Crimea is central to his psychosis. He began the invasion of Ukraine with the annexation of Crimea, and we will end both the annexation, the occupation, and Putin's reign with the liberation of this beautiful Ukrainian peninsula. So let's discuss today what actually happened in Feodosia and how we managed to create such a big fire. Maybe even a new Ukrainian drone missile was used, Palianytsia. And today is actually the second anniversary of the first attack on the Kerch bridge, and I think that the third one, the next one, will be lucky. My name is Anna, I'm from Ukraine, I'm in Ukraine, and if you want to see Russia defeated, Crimea liberated, and a good party organized somewhere in Kerch or Feodosia, subscribe, join the community of our channel, and please share the videos on your social media platforms to save the world from the toxic Russian propaganda. And one of the ways, the best, the most effective one, is actually to demilitarize Russia and to imprison its pathetic, dying Botox dictator. I don't know what you hear because I actually pronounce these beauty procedures that Putin and all his doubles do to I don't know what, because once again, Putin, all of his doubles, they cannot look nice. By the way, we have a really good video about the potential presence of Putin's doubles on the channel, and I will connect it here. If you haven't watched, do watch. I know it may sound crazy, but dictators are crazy, very afraid of things. And actually, after explosions in Crimea, Putin decided to never visit his summer house in Sochi, which is not far away from the border with Ukraine and definitely within the reach of the Ukrainian drones, because he is a coward, as all classical bullies are. So the fire in Feodosia was super picturesque, and all because we targeted Russian military marine oil terminal and the largest one in Crimea. It is very important for the liberation of the peninsula because right now it is used as a platform, as a platform, an important logistical hub for the invaders. And if we want to have safe, liberated Ukraine, Europe, we do need to take all of them away back to Mother Russia. And right now we are working on that, and oil is vital for their logistics. But fires are good. And this fire is definitely worth a separate movie or lots of photos that you can find online. And there are lots of rumors what actually targeted this marine oil depot. There are many versions, including classical ones. I like classics too, like Storm Shadow missiles. Why? Because we are allowed to use them on our territory. Crimea is Ukraine, and we've done that before. But it may be that this was one of the first works of the Ukrainian development, the Ukrainian drone missile Palianytsia. It has a name that is very difficult to pronounce for Russians. Somehow they are not able to produce sounds of Palianytsia. And actually this word was the one to test them at the start of the invasion, when some of them were hiding in civilian clothes, pretending they are ordinary people, especially around Kyiv at the very first days of the invasion, one of the things to test Russians was actually to ask them to pronounce this word. And lots of Ukrainian media outlets are joking that it will be really difficult for Russian TV hosts and propagandists to repeat the name of the Ukrainian missile that will keep destroying their objects. Subscribe to see more of that happening in Russia and more of that discussed on the channel. I promise sometime soon. And actually my plan, I even use this word, it's more realistic, is to discuss the destruction of the Kerch bridge sometime soon. Today we mark the second anniversary of the first attack. It was very serious with a lorry, a truck that was filled with explosions and drove along the bridge, and it actually took Russians 8 months to restore it. Then there was an attack in 2023 with marine drones, and I think the next one will be final for this bridge because, once again, Russian intelligence is also working, and right now we can see how they do everything to protect the bridge. They had patrolling boats. We've destroyed them together as all of the Black Sea Navy. You won't see many of them, even on the Russian side now. Then they have built some structures that are supposed to secure a bridge, and of course the majority of available air defense systems are there. But you see that Russian air defense is just as Russian management, approximately on the same very low level. And we see all of these preparations as a signal that perhaps more important preparations are actually happening on the Ukrainian side, and we will see that. Why is it so important to destroy this Kerch bridge? Well, first of all, because it does help Russian logistics, Russian troops, and this cultural influence. But secondly, because this is a symbol of Russian annexation and the start of this invasion and our weak reaction. And when I say our, I don't mean just Ukrainian, I mean global reaction that was understood by Putin as a green light to continue and start the full-scale invasion. Putin personally opened the bridge, so I think it would be actually good if he was on a car at the moment when we neutralize the symbol of annexation. And I think it will be a very important message to the population of Russia that no, everything goes according not to Putin's plan, but the plan of freedom-loving people. And honestly, I think this is very realistic, and actually many people, even among our partners and allies, unfortunately are still afraid of this liberation of Crimea, because this can lead fast to the collapse of Putin's image as the gatherer of the Ruski Mir lands. Second, it will once again ruin the possibility to recreate the Soviet Union, the dream that unites so many Russian populations zombified by propaganda. And as a result, this will lead to the collapse and the dissolution of this totally unnatural, and I cannot say unity because it's more of a prison for lots of beautiful peoples that are now a part of the Russian Federation. And no, Russian Federation is not all Russia. It consists of 22 People's Republic, and actually Russia is just one of them. Many are very, very different. And I think many would be very happy to return back to their cultural heritage roots, to their history, start practicing their language instead of artificial Russification, constant chauvinist comments, and resources that Russia, Moscow drags from these republics that are actually rich in natural resources. And that's the answer for those very worried about the oil prices, gas prices. Without Putin, it will definitely be easier to negotiate. And actually a very vivid symbol that the majority of world leaders did not congratulate Putin with his birthday. I don't want to pronounce this word. And with on the day of this accident. And even the leaders of BRICS. So perhaps this is another proof that more and more, even of this authoritarian, carnivorous, if it's possible to say, leaders stop supporting him because he is weak, and now even North Korea needs to support him, not just with missiles. Actually, 50% of the missiles that Russia uses are of North Korean origin, but even with people. Here on the Ukrainian media, we read that Kim Jong-un said that he will send North Korean soldiers to the front lines in Ukraine, and as a human-loving Ukrainian, I promise we will give them some food. Let me know, would you like a video about that, about this cooperation between Russia and North Korea? It sounds so miserable, so pathetic, but Putin and Kim Jong-un think this is an achievement. So let me know in the comments below, would you like a video about that? Remember to check our merch shop that has lots of new items to celebrate Halloween, and at the same time to remind about Ukraine and our battle with the real, not fictional evil. Also join me on Instagram, X, Threads, and Discord. The links are in the description of this video. Thank you for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons and sponsors of the channel, but most importantly, thank you for standing with Ukraine. Slava Ukraini!